In this video, we're going to begin practicing synthetic division, and this is a fast way for us to do polynomial division when the divisor happens to be a first-degree binomial. Before we move to polynomials, though, I want to start with an example from arithmetic. If we're going to simplify 12 divided by 3, one way to think of this is that it's a question asking how many 3's are there in 12? And we all know that there's 4 3's in 12. And we can check our work this way. If we multiply our divisor by our quotient, we should get the dividend. That is, when we multiply 3 by 4, we should get a 12, and of course we do. Now, that same idea is going to apply to a polynomial division problem like this. That is, when we divide this trinomial by this binomial, we're going to get another binomial. And to check our work, we can find the product of the divisor and the quotient, and it should be the dividend. So synthetic division is a fast way for us to find that quotient. And here are the steps. First, make sure your divisor is a difference. Then start with the subtrahend. We write the subtrahend in a little half box that looks like this, and then a little bit below we draw a line. Next we use the coefficients and the constant of the dividend, in this case 1, -7, and -18, and we write them right here. Now take this first coefficient and just drop it below the line. And now we're going to multiply 9 times 1, and we put the product right here. And then we add down, and in this case we'd get 2, because -7 plus 9 would be 2. And then again we multiply and write the product right here. That is 9 times 2 is 18, so that would go right here. And then we add, and in this case we'd get 0. And we're done. If you're going to divide this trinomial by this binomial, as long as you can read the information right here, you'll be able to write the quotient. Now, one thing to notice is we have a second degree divided by a first degree. And by the quotient rule with exponents, you can subtract the exponents. That is, 2 minus 1 will give us 1. So our quotient will be a first degree polynomial. It'll have a coefficient of 1, a constant of 2, and a remainder of 0. So our quotient will be x plus 2 with a remainder of 0. Now we can check our work because, again, if we multiply the divisor by the quotient, we should get the dividend. And so let's do that. We'll get x squared plus 2x minus 9x minus 18. And that will give us x squared minus 7x minus 18, just like it should. So that's the steps for synthetic division. We just went through it, but now here's your opportunity to do the exact same problem. See if you can remember the steps. Step 1 is to write the divisor as a difference, and then take the subtrahend. Put that in a little half box, and then write the line a little below. Next, write the coefficient and the constant of the dividend. In this case, 1, -7, and -18. Drop the first coefficient below the line. Then multiply, write the product here, and add to get 2. Multiply, write the product here, and then add to get 0. And that means if we divide the trinomial by the binomial, we'll get a quotient of 1x plus 2 with a remainder of 0. And please make sure for a few of these that you go through and check your work. Try this one. My divisor is a difference, so I'll start with the subtrahend and write 1 in that little half box. And then I'll write my line. My values will be 5, 1, and -6. I'll drop 5 below the line, then I'll multiply 1 times 5 to get 5. I'll add to get 6. 1 times 6 will give me 6. I'll add to get 0. And so my quotient will be 5x plus 6 with a remainder of 0. And again, please check your work to verify to yourself that you've actually found the right quotient. In this problem, our dividend has 4 terms, but the process remains the same. See how you do. Since I have a difference in the divisor, I'll just take my subtrahend, write my line. My values will be 1, -5, -2, and 10. I'll drop 1 below the line. I'll multiply and get 5, add to get 0. I'll multiply to get 0, add to get -2. I'll multiply to get -10, and then add to get 0. Now notice in this case I'm dividing a third degree by a first degree. That means I'll have a second degree as the first term in my quotient. I'll have 1x squared plus 0x minus 2 with a remainder of 0. And of course most people would prefer just to write this as x squared minus 2. Well, that concludes this first video where we began practicing with synthetic division.